Hello and welcome. You're watching Newscentre and I'm Parikshit Luthra. With 4 days to go for the GST rate cuts to take effect, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has urged the Indian industry to shed any hesitations and boost investments quickly. Speaking at the symposium of the Indian Foundation for Quality Management, the Finance Minister said the government has delivered ease of doing business and it hopes that the industry won't be reluctant to increase capacity and manufacturing. She emphasized on the need to address human resource gaps, adding that the private sector should partner with the government on skilling initiatives.
I hope there's no more hesitation for industry to invest further, to expand capacities, produce more in India. And what else is required by the government to do? Spell them out. You have a Prime Minister in this country who you have known for decades, from his days as Chief Minister of Gujarat. And he's never relented on reforms, nor has he ignored the wish list of the industry.
If India is to achieve its goals of economic, social, infrastructure and inclusive growth, the main purpose of Viksit Bharat, then we need to be working closely with the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister in multiple dimensions. And we are doing this at a time when the world is going through several challenges in terms of macroeconomic stability.
All right, let's move on and get you a CNBC-TV18 exclusive now. Samvardhana Motherson Group's chairman Vivek Chand Sehgal has said that he's unperturbed by tariffs or any other headwinds. Sehgal also told me that every segment of the company is showing growth and that the group is ready to enter any sector where there is customer demand. According to Sehgal, the Motherson Group is a not yet company. And the reason why he said so was that whenever they are asked whether they are in any sector, and if they're not, they always say not yet, because they're always open for future challenges. I began by asking him about the Finance Minister's appeal to India Inc. on increasing capacity and increasing investments.
I think all these things are very welcome, and we are grateful that these particular thoughts are coming into the government's mind and they're taking action on it. So I think it's going to augur very well for the Indian industry, I'm sure.
Right. Now, in terms of the Motherson Group, you've laid out a very ambitious 5-year plan of $108 billion in revenue by 2030. What are going to be the levers or the pillars of that growth?
I think India is going to fast propel into a 5 trillion economy, as the Prime Minister has laid out. The group per se is going to focus on the issues that are at hand. What all we need for our group to achieve its target. You see, in Motherson, every 5 years we come out with an audacious 5-year plan. And of course, everybody is very excited about it. People tell us that it's not possible, but we make it possible. I think every 5-year plan, right from 95, when we just listed our company, from $2.14 million as turnover, we've gone to now 25.7 billion. So I think the idea to dream, the eyes open, and then go for it. I think the levers are many. We have automotive by itself is going to be a big thing. People are wanting more and more alternatives. And I think one of the key things that we have announced this thing is that a lot of the car makers are asking us to set up manufacturing plants for them. But manufacture not in a sense of big numbers or something. These are niche areas where they want the car to be produced. And so why not? We can assemble machines, we can assemble the components, we can assemble a car, why not?
So when would you be looking at starting the assembly or manufacturing of cars?
The moment the customer gives us this thing, we'll go ahead.
So you're ready to start as soon as possible?
Yeah, whenever. Why should it take time?
Okay. Any announcement there which is on the horizon?
No.
Not immediately. How are you navigating these global headwinds? The US tariffs, 50%. There is, of course, trade negotiations going on with Europe as well. But how are the trade uncertainties impacting you?
So Motherson has been very focused that if we are exporting more than 10% of our turnover, then we will go into that country. We will stop the exports. We want to export, we want to make it in that country. So we're in 44 countries. We have more than 450 plants all over. So I don't need to export, otherwise I'll be taking all the export awards.
Right. You've often said that you prefer acquisitions than joint ventures because it gives you complete control on the technology and running the company. Could you give us a sense of the future acquisitions that you may be looking at? What sector or what aspect of the automotive or manufacturing industry would you like to focus on? Because today Motherson is not just into automotives, you're into aerospace, you're into semiconductors and other sectors as well.
I think, first of all, we are a not yet company. That means if you ask me, are you producing this? And if I'm not, I won't say no, I'll say not yet. Because some customer or somebody will ask me to produce it. So we're an open-minded company. We go for those particular challenges which the customer poses to us. I think it's very important to understand what does the customer need. And the customer decides and tells us and we go for it. Same in acquisitions also. We have never got up in the morning and said, today I'll buy this guy and that. No, that's not us. We wait for the customers to tell us they want a particular thing to be made and to top quality. So we do that. So we've done 44 acquisitions up till date. And we think it's a better way than joint ventures because you own the technology, the patents and everything come to you. And the first thing we do is to bring one part of it, that company into India so that we can have a global offering to all our customers over there.
Right. You're targeting an increase of more than 4x in gross revenue by FY30. If you can help bifurcate between the auto and non-auto contribution to this.
Why should I? Yeah. The thing is, whoever is growing, every company, every segment is growing. Right. So why should I give a boundary to them? It's an open target. Go for it.
Right. If I ask you about your investment plans over the next 5 years, when you have these ambitious targets, could you give us a sense of the kind of capex that you're looking to deploy and how do you plan to use it?
Watch the show. Ibtida ishq hai, hota hai kya? Aage dekhiye, hota hai kya? Okay. So I think we had a investor conference. We actually laid out what the thing was. I think you guys were also there. So they know that there are a lot of segments in the Motherson group. They will come out. They will arrange for money themselves. Why not? So more companies, more excitement on the cards.
Right. Any other demerger that we can expect? You've spoken about value creation with companies like Motherson Wiring in the past.
Yeah, I think that was a very important experiment that we did in the last 5-year plan. Taking a company out and then understanding how the ecosystem works on that was very exciting. And we have many companies which are already in the line to demerge. So not taking too much out of the excitement of the future, but you just watch. It will all unfold very quickly.
Right. My final question to you, sir, would be about how do you think the industry is poised to grow from here? What are some of the near-term challenges and the near-term tailwinds, according to you, which the industry needs to address?
See, I don't know about the industry. I think everybody is taking care of what their need is. But Motherson is not worried about challenges and all that because every time a challenge has come, like Lehman crisis, we doubled our turnover. You have anything that's going wrong, today people are talking about tariffs and things like that. We think these are opportunities. You have to take the ability to take the wind into your sail. That's the way to go, I think.
And speaking at the same event, Tata Steel MD and CEO TV Narendran said that the global environment for the steel industry remains challenging. However, he added that the demand in the Indian steel industry has been comparatively less vulnerable. Joining us right now is the Managing Director of Tata Steel, Mr. TV Narendran. Mr. Narendran, thank you so much for joining us. Could you give us a sense of whether Tata Steel is well on track to achieve its growth targets for FY26 in terms of both revenue and production?
Yeah, I think we are, because key to that was the Kalinganagar expansion, which is pretty much completed. We are ramping up as per plan. So I think we are well on track for that.
Right. In terms of the global headwinds, how does the export picture look like right now?
Globally, for the steel industry, things continue to be challenging simply because China continues to export 9 to 10 million tons of steel every month. And oftentimes at prices at which they themselves don't make money. So it's very difficult for anyone to compete with that. But luckily for the Indian steel industry, the demand growth in India has been strong. So we've been less vulnerable to what's happening in the global markets. The additional capacity that many of us have built in India are being fulfilled, being taken care of from the demand that there is in India. But if we were to export, yes, it would be challenging.
Right. I would also like to ask you, while the Steel Secretary has also said that the impact of US tariffs on India has been minimal as far as the steel industry goes. But overall, what is your expectation and wish list from the trade negotiations in order to protect the interests of the domestic steel makers?
I think, like the Steel Secretary said, India does not export much steel to the US because US traditionally has been a difficult market to export into simply because of the trade actions that they take. You know, so for instance, we used to export steel 30 years back to the US and they're very quick on anti-dumping and safeguard duties. So you don't see much steel exports going from India there. But I think there's a lot of engineering exports which goes there. Steel consuming sectors export into the US. So when we look at the trade negotiations, we are more interested to see what is the benefit it brings to our customers and hence the indirect benefit it that can come to us.
Right. On the EU negotiations, they're looking to conclude negotiations by the end of the year. The EU in its vision document, which has come out yesterday, they've said that EU is simplifying the CBAM and any carbon price paid in India will be deducted under the CBAM final adjustment mechanism. Do you feel that this will address the worries around CBAM to a great extent?
I think this mechanism was there and I honestly think that is what we should leverage because asking Europe to remove CBAM becomes very difficult because they are only charging importers the same carbon tax that they are charging on domestic players. So for them it's not just a trade issue, it's an industrial policy issue and we should recognize that. So they can't just address it through removing it for trade because then they have to take action for steel producers in Europe. But this is a mechanism which is available saying that if you are paying a carbon tax in your host country, then you can take the credit for that. So that's a suggestion in the past we have put up to the government saying that if you were to then do that and you can create a fund which companies can draw into for transitioning into green or do various things with it rather than pay the tax in Europe. Pay the tax here and use the tax for the benefit of the Indian industry.
Right. My final question to you, would you have any asks from the government at this point in order to safeguard the interests of Indian steel makers?
See, Indian steel industry goes to the government only when we see very unfairly priced imports because, it's only when steel comes into India at prices at which the suppliers don't make money do we say that it's unfair, right? Otherwise, the Indian steel industry is very competitive. We have some of the latest steel plants in the world. It's not just Tata Steel, all our peers as well. So I think from an Indian steel industry point of view, the ask of government is continue to spend on infrastructure, which they're doing, address the cost and ease of doing business, which they're doing, and give us some support whenever we see unfairly priced imports, because we should recognize the fact that the steel industry has been one of the leaders of private sector capital investment. I think between us and our peers, we are investing at least 40-50,000 crores a year, which is more than most other sectors. So it's an industry which I think needs to get nurtured. India is blessed with a lot of iron ore, and we need to see how to add more value to that iron ore, create jobs, create investments, and I think that's what the steel industry has for.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Narendran, for joining us. Thank you, sir. All right. Time now for a short break, but up next, an exclusive conversation Salil Gupte, the president of Boeing India and South Asia, spoke to me about the AI 171 crash investigation and also Boeing's endeavor to deepen the manufacturing partnership and sourcing partnership with India.